All right, folks, welcome back to the last match of the night here in Columbus, Ohio. Wrapping up day 2 of the MLG Major 2016, the first one of the year, $1 million on the line. And again, we got our last winner's bracket match happening. NaVi taking on Virtus.Pro, obviously. Guardian's a big fan favorite with the players as well as the fans. His op is a beast. And again, none of these teams are going home. So even if a team loses, they will only have to play G2 tomorrow in a best-of-3, and then they might go home and they will move on to Nationwide Arena. The winner of this match, though, will book themselves right into the quarterfinal for Friday or Saturday, depending on where they land in the quarterfinals for Nationwide Arena. Let me bring the crew back in. Hopefully they've calmed down from giving me a lot of grief earlier. Same guys. Moses, Yanko, Thorin.
What's up?
How are you guys? Long time no see. Yeah. So let's get right into this one. This, on paper, if you were to put away maybe the slump that Virtus.Pro has been in, it is a classic matchup. NaVi taking on Virtus.Pro. Regional matchup as well as obviously an international matchup. And in some regards, it goes even back with some of these players to the old days of Counter-Strike. Start with you, Thorin. Kind of why don't you give us a little historical knowledge about this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, this has been a matchup that we've seen throughout Counter-Strike Global Offensive from 2014 when the Virtus.Pro team really arrived and became the best team, or one of the best teams when they won their major in early 2014. And the thing is, Virtus.Pro historically have usually gotten the better of this matchup. That's what's been very interesting. And I think part of that has to be the stylistic clash. Because the thing is, NaVi is famous for that really slow tactical approach that they take, whereas the Virtus.Pro style really is just like in your face, they hit you fast. To me, Virtus.Pro style, I've always thought, is more like, it's like when they find the little opening, they don't just then take over that area and then set up. It's like they just ram the door and they just get in and they just take over the whole site. It's like that's the problem. It just happens so quickly. It's so difficult to stop. Whereas the NaVi style, it's a bit more slow, a bit more tempered. Difference is though, NaVi now obviously is in a much better place than that team is. So you're expecting it's going to start going over to NaVi. NaVi did get the better of it. That counter pit feels like a lot of the things are heading that way, but it is a major. That some of these factors do go out the window, and depending on the map, maybe Virtus.Pro can do this. Maybe they can come out of this slump. Maybe just for this match. It just has to be for a best-of-1 run. It's not a full series.
Yeah, and we are going to get the veto started. Yanko, your thoughts on the map picks, and before we see them, it might be too late, but what do you think is going to happen?
I think it's going to be either Train, Mirage, or Overpass, one of the 3 maps. I think, NaVi decided to ban 3 maps. And fortunately, VP is sticking with the Dust 2 ban, right? So
2 perma bans first.
Yeah, I thought that NaVi was in the end going to ban Train. They're going to ban Inferno here, and now we'll see what the randomizer is. Either
I think
Mirage
the Dream's
or
Mirage personally, but sadly we've got Cobblestone.
Yeah, and actually, I'm a bit surprised that VP decided to go for the Overpass ban instead of Cobble, because I mean, maybe that's something they prepared for. Maybe they're just themselves more comfortable on it. I was expecting it to be between maybe Overpass and Mirage and so on. I think they would have preferred the Mirage, but still, Cobblestone was a map that VP was really good on, especially on their T side, because they were one of the teams that abused the B rush, right? Going fast drop and B platform, which was really potent, especially in rounds where cities don't have a good economy going, where they don't have those nades, smokes, Molotovs that they can stop you. And that was what Duncan pointed out. That's the style where VP excels, just exploding, using the brute force to plow you and so on. And that's why I feel they were in a slump, because they changed that play style from the beginning of this year. They tried to be more tactical, more slow-paced and so on, more methodical in their play, and it didn't really suit them.
And you mentioned that, Cobblestone, VP, when the map first dropped, and not a lot of teams liked it, so it was banned a lot. VP went the opposite way. They're like, we're going to learn it, and we're going to keep it, and we're going to try to. And they plowed quite successfully for a couple months on this map. Now, obviously, the map's been tweaked quite a bit since then. But your thoughts on and they took what side they got? They got CT.
This is a map that is a little bit scary because it is a map that the CT team has a really tough time getting that information of what's coming. I think the real strength of it, I think this is going to be a little bit more T-sided for Virtus.Pro. They're going to find much more of their success on that T side, where that style that they have, very punishing to an economy as well. It's a very grind down style that can prevent the op from being in Guardian's hands, can prevent the nades from coming out to stop in the choke points, and that just allows Virtus.Pro to have even more success.
I'm a bit surprised that VP actually picked CT side here. I mean, talking about NaVi on this map as well, they're notorious of having pretty bad CT sides where it comes down to Guardian bailing them out, winning them a couple of rounds, but they're an amazing team on their T side, and it's not even Guardian doing the work, it's just the whole team playing really well. They have a really good game plan when it comes to this map. So I am kinda surprised that VP didn't go with the T side first.
And this is one of Caesar's best maps. This is one of the ones where he really comes alive. Yeah, I think the problem here is if it had gone into Mirage, that's where that would be my dream map. I think that would be an incredible one. Two of the best teams of all time. Both still have that similar style. I think on Cobblestone, I edge it to NaVi for that reason, which is they're so good that they can get so much work done on this T side, and they're starting out on T side. They could really be in a position where they've got the game half won, basically, going into that second half. Like, I think this is going to be a NaVi one, but I'm hoping it'll be close, because this is still a map that's within the wheelhouse of Virtus.Pro, at least, even if it's not one of their strongest right now.
Okay, Jaco, your final thoughts on it?
I feel that for VP, VP did pick CT. Maybe they have a good game plan coming into this. Maybe they prepared for Navi's T side and so on. I feel that they need to have a good CT side in order to have a chance on this map.
And you?
Yeah, you're exactly right. They need to have a good CT side. They need Snacks to show up big. I'm really curious to see who's going to be able to challenge Guardian with that AWP. I'm just going to take NaVi on this one.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. There you have it. It's going to be Virtus.Pro taking on NaVi. Again, a classic matchup. NaVi at the top of their game right now. Virtus.Pro struggling through a slump. We'll see who comes out on top. The map is Cobble. And once again, Sadkist, Henry G, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, Sir Scoots. It is going to be an absolute burner of a game. Virtus.Pro seems to be much revitalized coming into this, if anything is to be said about yesterday's massive performance.
Yeah.
It's true. It is just one game out of a flurry of poor performances, but it's something to marvel at considering the scoreline. And it's NaVi they go against on Cobblestone. Now, the CT side hasn't been brilliant for them in the past on this map, but they do still have an excellent T side and a good win rate on it.
I'm very surprised they chose CT first. I have to agree with Janko here. NaVi notoriously very weak on the CT side. They rely very heavily on Guardian to have the AWP. Absolute craziness. And that's where he finds most of their rounds. But they famously only get about 5, so their T side is very good. And we have got a pause coming in, so we'll be jumping into this one straight away. So, Matt, we've got some time
I think
to
this
talk
is
about
tactical. I think,
straight away?
yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's
There was something wrong in that pissed around with the buy. They've got it. No, I'm just kidding. Clearly technical, but that's all right. We do have a second to talk about.
So we talk about VP being in this massive slump, right? And it's been horrible the last 2 or 3 months. It's been like they're online, on LAN. They haven't been able to provide any sort of real results. They got out of the groups at Katowice, but after that, they got absolutely stomped by Fnatic. This event, it looked a lot more promising, right? They've gone against G2 and 16-1 them. That's a sort of result we haven't seen from VP in a long time. They looked very strong, and players like Pasha stepping up massively, seeing like he's found his form.
You know what it was?
What was it?
Saving strats for the major.
What, this whole last 2-3 months? They've just been, but guys, don't worry about all the other 100, 250k events. We're just going to focus on the $1 million.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
why not?
fair enough.
Dr. Evil only wanted $1 million, and Taz is definitely Dr. Evil.
I would agree. Well then,
Bialy sat in the middle this time too, by the way.
One thing that's interesting as well, the AWP setup for VP. This is one of the maps where Pasha and Neo both can roll out on the CT side of Cobble. We sometimes see the auto sniper come out as well when things get a little bit interesting for them, maybe when they get a lot of momentum going their way or they need a quick fix to kind of help out at the back of B. That's when the auto sniper comes out sometimes. We always talk about that being detrimental to some teams, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Pasha roll that going into this one. So it will be VP versus NaVi, the last map of the night here. The crescendo, some might say, Matthew.
Some might say that, Henry. I'm not one of those people, but you are British.
I am. Well, we can have a look at the buy. While we are just paused for NaVi as well, they've got 4 sets of armor. Seeds of someone we pointed out, he has a very strong seaside Cobble. Smoke and a flashbang for him. And looking like VP a yet to buy. Smoke and a flashbang.
More Austin Powers references
Yeah,
while we can get them in there.
Keep them coming. I like it. Well, VP need a very strong CT half here. Like we said, NaVi unstoppable at times. It's not even Guardian. This sets the world on fire on the T side here. It's Seized and like Zeus. They're actually the players that step up massively on this side. It's not normally the star players. It's normally like Guardian and Flame you look to for these star level performances.
The other thing that we have seen as of late, and they've kind of changed this setup a couple of different occasions, but Edward on the CT side, if Guardian is off, Edward has to be on it.
Sure.
Again, Guardian's off, Yanko touched on it, we touched on it briefly. That's definitely the key to the success on their CT side, if there is success to be had. But Edward's a guy that kind of gets overlooked in some situations.
Here we go then. We're getting into the final map of this evening. It's going to be NaVi on the T side. We already pointed out their buy, and it's looking like they will be favouring towards the B side of the map as well. All 5 players going in very aggressively, and there's a boost coming in towards drop down as well. Lots of exchanges going on straight away, but Yali gets the first kill.
Does, and turns his attention immediately. They went passive due to that early aggression on drop with so many players passive toward long. and allows the entry, but it does draw the attention. Eventually, it doesn't matter if attention's given. You have to get kills, and that's all going NaVi's way. It's Bialy to finish up with 2. But he'll get immediately taken down by Edward, and perhaps giving them that much ground to walk on was too much in the end.
I love it. We can hear the screaming in the room. It's amazing. But there it is. NaVi go for the very fast beat split there. 2 players towards drop down. Bialy did find the first frag, but is stifled in that drop down area. Does get punished, and a very fast approach from NaVi does prevail. VP only finding 2 kills, both found by Bialy. Looking like they will not be. They will be fully forcing into this. It looked like they weren't going to, but 4 sets of armor, Desert Eagles, and just Neo, who is now the designated AWPer, will be on the P250, no armor, trying to keep some cash in reserve for the first gun round here. So NaVi actually going to be getting 3 SMGs, 2 of those UMPs, and then 2 AKs on Edward and Guardian. Presumably, we're spreading themselves out across the map, seeing what kind of intel they can gather. Guardian actually going quite aggressive towards the doors there, and Neo towards long A. Desert Eagles can be, as we all know, very deadly on maps like Cobble. Lots of long-range angles to face.
Absolutely.
We'll see what they can bring to the table, Will.
The hand cannon. So he's going to drop a smoke down off to the left, the arch side of the drop. Does that telegraph that he potentially wants to work toward the flowers and connector, and if he does that, is there a chance that they pinch onto the A site? Because right now, they do have 2 players out toward that long position, so as Snacks rotates away, with that thought in mind, he's asked Bialy to come watch that drop, that lurk play, so they could strengthen the A defense. That's not a foregone conclusion as we see it. And they bring the bomb back toward the B. There's still 50 seconds to work with.
NaVi now making their way towards drop down. Bialy's going to be confronted once again, but it's seized. They capitalize and takes the headshot with the MP7. They've got control of drop down room now, but Neo's not done quite yet. Well, now he is. He gets dropped, and Taz comes in, and now going to be a 3-on-1 with just Taz remaining. He has managed to get an AK, but seized, puts him to bed, and it's going to be 2-0 in favor of NaVi. They did do something with the upgraded pistols, but this round will be a complete throwaway at this stage, just keeping 2K in their reserves. And the only real options here, Matt, just to kind of stack a bomb site, try and get anything you can out of the close range. And now NaVi adjusting accordingly. Mac 10's coming out. I'd assume we'll do something very quick coming in and try and farm some cash. What do you reckon?
I reckon that if anyone saw the feature yesterday on Pasha, he says that if there's a good gym in the hotel, he'll play better. I saw Neo there this morning, so perhaps he was taking some
you work
of
out,
his point. I knew
had
you
no
were going to go
idea.
there. Thorin is definitely thinking. That's what I'm saying this right now, Thorin. But Thorin, you're mad trigger.
Well, you've got to keep that body up, haven't you?
Yeah, it's hard to keep dad bod in full form. 6-packs just don't do it anymore, and I'm not talking about the ones on my stomach. And there's going to be a smoke out toward long. 3 players inside B. They've actually got 5 players if you include the 2 that are idling toward drop. So it is going to be the stack, the gamble from Virtus.Pro. That's going to be found out. Edward and Zeus are already in the A site. Bomb quickly going to be grabbed by Seized and head back that direction. So pretty straightforward in this round. As you said, they couldn't buy into this Virtus.Pro, so they had to do something to try and offset that massive disadvantage. And a gamble a stack is often viable. I mean, if it works out, if someone overlooks it, if they can't get that information, if they just walk into it blindly, we see it work far too commonly, it almost seems.
But you can see NaVi do want these kills. They know with the SMGs they've got, they can farm a little bit of cash here, and so we'll be hunting the kills here. They know it's a B stack coming in, and it would be very surprising they dropped a single frag here. There's 4. Just Neo remains. He is in towards the chicken coop, and he will be taken down as well. Not a single frag drop for NaVi there. 3-0 in their favor now on the T side of Cobblestone. This is where it gets interesting now. This is the bonus round. This is a classic example of the bonus round. So we call it that because obviously they've got the SMGs from the previous anti-eco round, and they can keep those and try, and if they can do something very quick here, something very close range, presumably towards drop down, and win this round, it sets them at such a fantastic position in terms of the money. And even if they lose this round, Matt, they have enough cash to go into the next with a nice full buy. So the objective is try and get as many guns off the CTs as you possibly can, and that's the bonus if you win the round.
That's going to be an interesting tactic right now. Can work on the entry from the terrorist side, even though, as you mentioned, there's so much long space for the Deagles to play because they can still control the pace, they can control the action, and they're through the smoke already. They are going to get up close to Bialy. They'll get the trade on Pasha, and that now opens the B site to them once more. As Seized, he's going to wait above drop. He hasn't even gone down yet. He'll catch Snacks entirely unaware, and just like that, it's round over.
That's so nice from Seized. You just wouldn't expect that as a CTO player, just be waiting above the drop-down zone as they've made their way onto the site and planted as well. Very nice positioning from him. Very intelligent player, I have to say. Neo and Taz will not be opting to go into the site at this point. They're going to be keeping up the AWP and the M4. And like I said, NaVi have such great cash right now. They'll be trying to hunt them down. They know an AWP's very possible for Neo. He has not got armor as well, so very squishy target. He's given his position away as well. Edward towards the top of middle, and the pin set begins. Can they find these 2 kills?
You know, Spots one already approaching with hopes and merriment of taking that op away. He'll find the second. That's Guardian down. Looks, but not fast enough towards C's, who's going to actually mow both of them down from that close angle. If Neo had that second shot, there might have been a chance they got away with it entirely, because the third player that was coming around from the statue wasn't quite close enough, and that's huge. As it goes to 4 for NaVi. It's not the reset potential, but it's, I mean, still an early lead, and this is what we talked about, Virtus.Pro needing rounds on this half.
Look at the cash for NaVi right now. Just like 3 players and like 10K or something. That's swelling enormously.
There's a saying for that.
What is that?
You always say it. I can't remember what it is.
I can't remember.
Money Barbie or something?
Money baby. That's
Oh,
what
there
I mean.
it is.
Yeah. I remember it now. The one I made up. Okay. Anyway, we go into round number 5. Just tech P250s, and C's will find that first kill. Snack's trying to boost up in the drop-down area. It doesn't really work out for him, and they're going to be going absolutely ham. They're finding the first 2 kills. Flamey chiming in as well. And they're going to, once again, a 5 on 3, make it a 4. And as Bialy does find the kill on the Flamey.
Decent shot from Bialy, at least, to get that one, as you say. But Neo now the last alive. 1 versus 4. You mentioned the money. Best thing he could do right now for his team is to find at least 1 more kill. Drop a gun down. Better still if he could save it, but drop a gun down and force some money to be spent from the NaVi side. He's going to get spotted already trying to come in through that window late. It's Zeus, who doesn't like that Beatles song. There's no bathroom window to be entered. In fact, Neo, okay, that works. He does get 1 onto Edward. I was going to say he's going to get completely overwhelmed, but that's not bad. Okay, so 1 more rebuy. It's still 3 alive, so decent situation for NaVi either way, but again, better than it could have been.
Well, here we go then. We said C's is big on Cobble. He's currently on 8 for 0, yet to die. And here's a replay of his double kill, trying to find the exiting 2 CTs there. So 5-0, and we can see all being purchased for Pasha this time. They will swap it around. Pasha normally plays towards the B site, Neo towards A, so they'll see whether they can probably put that towards Chicken Coop and find an initial kill here to help them out with the standard default play most T teams will bring to the table. Is getting towards that upper platform, trying to work a pick, and Pasha's going to be in position to try and lock that down. More of a default player from NaVi, not going to be committing towards the B site straight away. Nade's coming in and smoke to take away some vision as well, but predominantly focused towards the A side of the map, and that's where Neo is alone.
He's alone and not actually pushed that far forward. He's got danger on the highway to the danger zone. Long A covered off, but he's got to fall away from this. He's going to get 3 players pushing, and that doesn't necessarily mean much for those on B. They don't have a full read off of that. Pasha's going to go a more open angle along with the AWP flash, forces him away. They'll have spotted him in that position as well. Molotov out toward the box. He's still going to take the fight regardless. Takes minor damage and gets the kill. So well worth it for Pasha to peek into that.
Yeah, absolutely. He gets the 5-on-4 now. Now they can rest a little bit easier and actually justify rotating a player in the form of Taz over towards the A bomb side as well. They have 1 smoke remaining. That's on Pasha as well. So time ticking away, but still a lot to play with here for NaVi. Guardian, of course, on towards the AWP himself. So he'll be looking to get this frag back in their favor. He slowly but surely edges in, checking every single angle. And we'll see whether he can actually take down Pasha here as he does smoke himself in.
And Snacks is going to go more passive on the drop room so that he can support the players at long. He doesn't have another smoke to deploy for Bialy, as you'll often see the drop player do, because other than early smoke for him, it's not as common that he'll need one. Pasha's gone down. Snacks has the one, so is Bialy. Now he has to turn the timings off. He's got the kill, but Flamey's there. If he had to turn back and hit Flamey, that would have been the most hyper-aware play possible from Snacks. It's on Neo, who's going to get smoked. It doesn't cover the door. It's actually just for the choke point to cross toward the bomb site. It's a double play.
Wow.
It's Taz trying to follow the footsteps, but Flamey holds both.
Really nice stuff there from Flamey. 3 kills from that round, and Pasha found the opening frag. That's what they required. The Guardian, we saw it coming. He smoked himself up, found the kill towards Pasha, and then a really nice shot. I think we saw it off camera. He got the second one as well. Just really opened up the B bomb site for them. The rotating CT players as well, getting absolutely destroyed by Flamey in this situation. The second kill was something to marvel at as he takes down Neo and Taz, and that's going to be 6-0 now. And the money situation for VP in dire straits. Max 7 out on Pasha. He can be very strong towards that B side with this weapon, but not a single kit. Only 3 smokes. At this point, NaVi can just slow things down and play classic NaVi playstyle. Work the picks, stay together, and take advantage of the financial situation.
Well placed onto Flamey's baby toe. It takes him down now to 46 with the follow-up, and Bialy's actually going to further that still with the M4. Initially, it was 64 HP that he had on the peak. Guardian at long. A double stack again. A 3-player setup with the crossfire. 2 here, common. 3, not likely. Flash gets both. They go in and back out again. They can't find the refrag as well. Zeus was looking for him, but he gets away from it, and they find it. It all falls apart on that early aggression, and the flash timing was just slightly off. It's now just Neo that remains at long.
Absolutely right. It's very rare to see 3 players stacked towards that position. Now Neo Needs to step up. He's got players towards middle and towards long A. He has got full HP though, but no utility. Just the M4 in hand. Really sure what his options are here. Guardian will be smoking off towards middle and facing towards danger as well. You would assume he gets his kill, but it's actually Neo that capitalizes and brings the advantage in favor of VP now, but he still has players surrounding him.
So now it's just Edward, who doesn't have position at all. Bomb was dropped down the bottom of middle. Pasha's already pushed through the B tunnels. There's no way he's getting back to that for free. And Virtus.Pro get around. It's the 7th that they finally do get into. Reset potential applies.
Absolutely, this is massive reset potential. 2 frags found, and VP did have barely any nades last round as well. They have a lot of rebuying to do to get all the guns on the board and defuse kits and all that sort of stuff. So if they were to lose this round, it could potentially mean a double eco coming in. You can see
Neo's ruined
3 players, 4 players fully onto $0. So here we go. How's he ruined it? What's he done?
We had 5-4-4-2-1. We almost had 5-4-3-2-1 on the
And
scoreboard.
what would that have meant?
Care Bear countdown.
Brilliant.
Shout out to Vansili.
Yep, brilliant. Sounds good. Whatever that is. Anyway.
Smoke off on the archway. Neo's going to fall back at long, so one choke point covered by Conceal, the other covered by Aggression. Gives them a forward stance, a defensive stance for the CTs. Fairly straightforward that they've been going for this. And Pasha once more, this time without the AWP, they're going to give it toward Neo. He's going to play on the long platform and try and dance around that box. Flamey, and Seized. The same 2 last time that faced it and went down will be the same 2 that are over on that side of the map, because the rest of them are pushing toward Neo's position, who's gone more passive with this AWP. And you would expect that he's going to try and find his way onto the platform. All right, take it back. It's Taz that's going to go to platform. He's going to play at the van. I thought it was going to be the opposite and get the M4 closer, but he's actually rotating away from this. So Taz will be the player to try and sit and be effective in the back of the site.
This looks like an ace split coming in. It looks like Seized and Flamey were trying to walk towards drop down. Snacks finds the first kill though, shuts it down slightly, and there it is. Guardian finding the shot onto Neo. This opens up the A site. Taz there by himself, and we have got a player in towards drop down. That's Flamey holding for the rotations.
And this is where Taz has the option. He can actually just sit and not peek in this position. It's going to give away the fact that he's there, though. That splash will have been spotted, and oftentimes you'll see them sit. You'll see them wait and try and bait out the bomb planner to deny it. In this case, that's not going to happen. Taz already goes down, and they're just going to keep approaching the site. They're going to get all the frags required. Edward trading on Pasha means it's all onto Snacks, who did well to drop that player at the drop room to cut off that split you talked about, but in this case, not much else he can do, and the reset is very real. 7-1.
So even though they found that first kill into the drop-down area, taking down a key player there, but the fact is they still got the shot onto A. That A split still became potential because in turn it wasn't a split in the end. It's holding for rotations as being a nuisance towards that drop-down zone. That became so hard from the hold. Just Taz on the A bomb site. They knew they couldn't rotate, and the problem is for VP now, full reset coming in. $1,400 comes in. I think we've explained the money situation enough today, but basically means if you win one round and lose a subsequent, you get the lowest amount of money coming to your bank account, which is $1,400. It means you can't buy. So CT's now looking down the barrel of a double eco going forward. As we enter round number 9, you can see Zeus adjusting accordingly. He's got the Mac 10 out. He can go into positions first and try and farm some cash with the SMG. CT's only invested into a Deagle and a PT50. This round is almost guaranteed going in favor of NaVi.
Stack again is onto the B site. Neo the only one in A this time, so they've left at least one anchor player. He's going to try and play this as passively as we can. Mentioned last time that you can sit in that position sometimes and bait it out, but Taz gets a refrag onto Edward immediately after Neo goes down, so at least something to work with, and that drops the bomb. Smoke will cover off Snacks. They won't be able to watch that bomb comfortably, and they should, yeah, and will. Zeus already has it, going to get the plant out of this. And now the round is over.
Yes, I would agree. They're just trying to save anything they can at this point. Is what, Desert Eagles and PT50s?
I think this is actually going to be a boost to try and get a quick flank out to the tunnels to get exits.
Yeah.
And they're failing miserably.
Yeah, they're going to probably hold towards the top middle behind the boulders and stuff like that, see if they can get anything for their money. That's round number 8 will be going into NaVi's favor. And the money, let's have a look, they'll get $1,900 next round, so 3 out of the 4 players, 3 out of the 5 players could buy, 2 couldn't. That'll be Bialy and Neo. Pasha will have enough for an AWP if he wanted to, or an auto sniper perhaps, you never know. So far, it's looking pretty grim. If they do manage to save an AK, that would be something, but not going to happen. Taz and Pasha remain, and not going to be finding anything here towards the end of this round. We're going to number 10 now. We'll see what kind of money they have to play with there. So they will be forcing into it. Pasha does have enough, as I said, for the AWP, but it's a very difficult situation for them. Not a single kit purchase so far. There it is, AWP. 2 smokes on Cobble Map on the CT side. It's not enough to work with, is it?
Good luck.
Yeah.
I mean, we already see how much utility is deployed out at B long alone. Drop room, it's often covered off early.
They need Pasha to do what he did before, go for that initial phase. He needs to get that kill. They can't allow NaVi to fully execute and work picks here. They'll just get absolutely smothered.
This is actually the approach instead. They're going to go back to this three-pronged approach at A. It got cut off last time due to a poor timing, but it works out because NaVi is waiting for this. They're actually sitting back with everyone in courtyard for the aggression, but
sure.
I almost would like to see them try and get even more from this. Instead, they're going to wait. This could still work. But as soon as this is found out, as soon as 3 players are that far away at long, and Seized is already lurking on B, if they lose 1 player, Seized instantly goes on B. If he gets 1 frag, they instantly rotate back to that site as well, because it's a long rotation for the CTs. But Snacks, he's going to actually get the advantage here. Edward and Zeus, they go down. It's only 1 frag. And surprisingly, because it's Seized that goes down on the offside, or rather, excuse me, it was Zeus that goes down on the offside, they are going to take this fight. They are going to go right on to A, and Snacks has Guardian. Seized, already into danger, finds the response kill, but that's traded as well. So very fast response from Virtus.Pro in all situations, and it's just Seized that remains.
If he can just find a couple of kills here, he might not be able to win the round. It still damages the economy, and once again, they'll be at that reset situation. This could be really interesting. He does get gifted an opportunity to take down Snacks, but checks it just in time and finds the kill onto C. So there it is. VP find their second round, and they need to drop 2 frags as well, but they need to start chaining a few rounds in a row here. Money for NaVi still very strong indeed. I think Zeus had 13k at the start of this round, and that 3-man approach towards long A does pay off in the end. The crossfires work. And we're going to round number 11. So all still in the hands of VP. And Guardian picking up one as well. This is what I'm talking about. So Guardian actually sat at the bottom of the scoreboard. That's quite traditional for their T side of Cobble. He's good for getting like a couple of touches here and on the T side and maybe an opening pick, but he doesn't go absolutely nuts like he will on the CT side.
And there you go. There's an example of the early utility required. But again, Virtus.Pro picking up that round. You said you wanted early aggression. It was slightly different, but still worked out. And Flamey's going to lurk toward B, which doesn't have anything in front of it. It's almost too inviting in some ways. Flamey's going to wonder what the setup is on the other side of this, and it's more passive than we've seen with Pasha out toward that chicken coop. And Bialy on statue in the site to try and get a switch. 2 players watching drop as well. C's going to deploy a lot of utility, catches Snacks off in the flash because he knows he's got to run from it, but Taz is there. That was crucial, and he's going to swap over to the AK instead. A second Molotov throw and will force Guardian back.
Now Flamey is trying to work a pick on that platform area. Does decide to fall back for now. I think a shot from Pasha was rattled off, so they know an AWP is set up in that position, and now they still have time with Edward towards long A as well. It's going to be Guardian who's going to go for the next face here, and Pasha has changed his position up, so I do like this. Maybe going for the boost here as well. This could be very interesting if he does decide to do it. Right now they're in horrible positions. They need to work out how they're going to approach this situation.
Boost from Pasha. Oh, the timing! Why doesn't he slow that down? Guardian right back into it, and the second one onto Bialy. If Pasha had just taken his second to stand, rise up, they had no idea that he was going for that face. And the shot would have been all too easy. Instead, they have to play a man behind. Back into it and make it 2 now because Neo gets caught out on the flank. Taz's job, instrumentally and infinitely harder, as he has to claw his way into the site. And Guardian, well, you saw the segment before the game. That's why everyone considers him the best in the world.
They were so apprehensive of that boost. Like, shall we do it? Shall we? Shouldn't we? Should we? Should we? They went for it, and like you said, didn't even stand up properly to take the shot. It was actually almost gifted to him. You could see him, and then they were given away, and Guardian picks up 2, and that's the round over at that stage, and that's the reset once again, Matt. They managed to win 1 round in a row before getting reset once again, and here $1,400, and that means another eco coming in, and double figures potentially for NaVi as well. They purchased a CZ, some PT50s, but that time so far for VP as we go into round number 12.
Right. Molotov this time early from the T's onto drop, so they want to get close to it. They want to set up for a split play onto B early. Pistols out. They may still be able to read on that, though. Taz is aware of the fact that it went down so early, but they still go. It's Edward that gets the first kill on Pasha, Flamey onto Taz. Both angles covered off, and despite a stack on the B site, it doesn't even matter if they get information or not, because the frags are adding up, spiraling out of control. None in response. All 5 stay alive for NaVi again.
Yeah, very simple procedure for them there. Slow things down, wait for the aggression. They go into the B bomb site together and find all the frags available. Still a difficult buy here as we go into round number 13. VP, money situation is still pretty poor. Mag 7, Famas no kits. Have got the smokes this time, no incendiaries. It's going to take more of the same. After that 3-man approach towards A boost up and towards drop down. Someone needs to find a kill here. They can't allow another execution to come in from NaVi. We'll see what they bring to the table here. Guardian, of course, back on the AWP. And Snacked is the one towards the Mag 7 this time.
Edward has smoke in front of him this time. It's Bialy to get aggressive. So once more, Pasha going to change his approach, play a longer angle. And it's not even out toward Chicken Coop. It's actually closer to that drop position, so they're trying to buddy up and be able to go into a support role if they lose a man at either position, but it really left Bialy well and truly on his own, so thankfully Taz has rotated out. But in they go regardless, Navi. They've got them forced back. They can go for the wall of smokes. They can cut them off entirely, but Taz would still be inside of that, and Taz is going to cause problems. He gets 2. Flamey drops as well, but Edward does respond, and that allows Guardian the space that he requires to take down Pasha. Quite frankly, with Guardian, all you need is an inch, but this is a lot more than an inch from Seized. He's got the entire back door to work with. Lurks out, thank you very much. I'll take my trigger discipline any day of the week, and that's just absolutely insult to injury.
The proverbial snake in the grass. Sneaks in from the connector doors there. Lovely stuff by him. As soon as you saw him jump out the window undetected, you knew that was going to be his round all day long. Taz did what he could. He's had a very quiet game so far. He picked up 2 frags as they come out. It just wasn't quite enough, and Guardian doesn't need to do anything too crazy or pretty this game. Just needs to pick up a couple of frags every now and then to get them back out of certain situations, and Seized gets them over the finish line. Round number 13. And Averico now coming in for VP. This has been a horrible CT side for them so far. 11 plays 2, and they've just got PT50s and the Desert Eagle in hand. Taz is going to be facing towards middle with that Deagle, and doesn't get punished for it just yet, and he will be falling back.
Cap in the smoke, as always, as it bounces off the box. Pasha wants to use it to his advantage, and Seized has to do the same. It's Edward instead, though, that takes down Taz at long A. Snacks and Bialy are going to try and rotate quickly, and Snacks to the back of the site might have a chance on approach. If he can buy himself some space, he's going to wait. He's going to try and pop this flash at the most opportune moment, but they're coming from both sides, and they haven't actually walked out much beyond the stable, so even though the flash is there, there's no distance that's been closed, and therefore the 5-7 from that range isn't going to be as effective. He's now in a world of trouble. Look at how many players around him. He manages to get one and stays alive significantly longer than I thought.
There it is, 12 plays 2 now. Another simple procedure there for Navi, just dropping 1 player, which is Flamey. But once again, VP, they've just not got their money on track this. It can be such a difficult procedure on the CT side. If you don't win the pistol and you're not winning gun rounds, you're only winning 1 every now and then, you're never going to have full buys. And it's such a hard task on the CT side of Cobble here. They go to the last round now. They have got cash this time. Not a single AWP though. Everyone's on M4s. No kits once again, but they have got the utility. Incendiary smoke grenades, flashbangs. Still, double AWP setup for Navi this time. It's going to be Zeus joining in the fun with Guardian. Looking like they'll be slowing things down and trying to work the picks.
Do anything. And it seems to work for them, whether it's picks, fast plays, or smoke executions from Navi. Pasha this time in toward the archway. Tons of money, so therefore tons of Molotovs that very commonly do cover that ground. Flamey's waiting for the flash in as well.
3 AWPs now for Navi.
Why not? I assume they juggled it. Yeah, they did. Yeah. Edward's got the AK. Actually, so does Zeus.
Just bringing them all with them. Why not? I think they've left them at spawn. They were looking for the initial picks, and he pushes from the CT, then go back and get the AKs and go into something normal.
And that's actually because it's a lot quicker than juggling them the whole way.
Yeah.
Obviously, that takes a moment. Each step you throw a gun, you've kind of got to stutter a bit. So they wanted to get to the positions quickly, and now they've got the AK. So it's still viable, still effective, and now they've got the required weaponry. Excuse me, Elmer Fudd showing up in this broadcast for a moment, but they've got it in position to go ahead and go for the execute, but that means going by Taz, who gets a hat trick from the bottom of drop. Suddenly things looking good for him as Pasha's going to close on Edward. The most convincing round yet comes from Virtus.Pro late, and Pasha somehow turns back to find Zeus, who looked like he had him dead to rights.
Well, there it is. Finally, they show up. It's round number 15. They're not out of it just yet. We have said before, the CT side of Navi, that's where they do struggle. So I don't think this is a foregone conclusion. Obviously, 12-3 is a very convincing scoreline indeed, but Navi CT, it has to be said, isn't fantastic. So if VP can win the pistol here, we've seen it a few times this tournament. 12-3s don't automatically mean complete success here. It's a great scoreline, but I feel like there's a few more twists and turns just yet, Matthew. Yeah? No? What do you think?
I want to agree with you for the sake of excitement and a storyline, but this is a really tough task for Virtus.Pro. Now, the one thing everyone's going to say, and we kind of touched on it as well, is we saw one really good game from them yesterday in a field of manure in a lot of ways, that one patch of grass.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say that this has been an economic struggle more so than an actual gameplay struggle. Sure, the frags, you look at that scoreboard that we just had no one in the double digits yet for them. Again, this is a very hard map to play with that utility and guns on the CT side. They were kind of a victim of being the reset 2 times in a row.
But there's no reason why they can't do that to Navi as well.
That's the point. Well, exactly. So you pistol around, getting it going again. For the sake of a storyline and being the optimist, I believe, but this is a really tough
the last game
order.
of the day, Matthew, We want to see it happen. We want to see it go the distance. We don't want to see a 16.
78 rounds?
Maybe not that at this time, but I wouldn't mind an overtime. A single overtime would be fine. I would like that. It would be
Just one, though.
We could get so much hype going if we got to that. Imagine the hype levels.
It's true. It's true. Tons of hype. It's been actually a very exciting major. The storylines, speaking of, in terms of excitement for fans, have already been incredible. Envious defending champions down in 2 straight maps to none other than Gambit that put the final nail in the coffin. And I have to say that final nail in the coffin might, in fact, be the case. There's a lot of questions already circulating about what happens with that roster, but they'll now play off against CLG. Liquid.
I was going to say Liquid.
I'm sorry.
That was my storyline.
Sorry.
Liquid taking down Fnatic in double overtime. Was it double or triple? It's double, I think. Maybe triple.
Why do I not remember? I was too excited.
It doesn't matter. They beat them in overtime.
No, it was triple.
Triple overtime. It was a really exciting game. Lots of huge individual performances, and it looks like we're ready to get into our own game right now. This is VP versus Natus Vincere just joining us. NaVi sat on the T side and 112-3. They'll be switching over to CT right now, and they'll be purchasing up 4 sets of armor. If they are to win this pistol, it puts them in a fantastic position going forward, and VP will have a very difficult time getting back into this. But like I said, if VP manage to do this one, I wouldn't be surprised if they made this very close indeed.
Smoke out on the alleyway, seized, already fading away from that position out in the drop room. So they're going to cover off from connector, allow for a potential split. As Flamey and Edward will watch out toward long. Pasha's still in spawn. Yeah, I think there's an issue.
There's always an issue when we get excited.
Well, it was, to be fair, it was Pasha that had it at the start of the game as well, so perhaps something recurring on that PC. But they'll take a minute to fix this, obviously.
Well, I can have a look at the buy at least. You can see NaVi did have 4 sets of armor, kit on towards seized, and having a look at VP as well. They didn't have a raid boss. They had Pasha on the Tech 9, PT50s, a couple of smokes and flashbangs. Are they going into this? Yeah, it's fine. We're back.
Apparently we are.
Okay.
There was a vote called, but
back to casting.
Admins were standing behind Pasha, but play on is the call, and Pasha is moving again now. He was actually starting to move once the call was made, so did eat some time up, but it's a pistol round. Typically, they go fast as it is. There's a decent amount of utility. 3 players, in fact, that bought. 4 players that bought for Virtus.Pro, so they were looking for execution. It's going to be onto the A side. It has seized, occupying it, as well as Zeus, and it sees that gets the first. It's traded, though, by Taz, and immediately after, Bialy finds the second man in the site. It's going to be the rotations that have to suffice. No kits remain on NaVi either, and with a bomb plant down, perhaps that's the new meta. Let's just go AFK and spawn. It's a matchmaking strat, but it works out because Virtus.Pro have the site and a potential to make this a game.
Well, there it is, 4-on-2. Edward and Guardian on the retake. They have not got the kit just yet, and still 4 kills to find at this point. Guardian doing everything he can, but Snack's playing a clever game, not giving too much away now. Wants to just make sure he delays him as much as possible and guarantees the bomb. Not going to happen though, as Guardian picks up his first. And a second as well, and Edward gets one, and now a 2-on-1. They've picked up the kit as well. This becomes possible. Can they do it? Bialy goes down as well. Bomb ticking away. If they can get the defuse in right now, they should be okay, and they're actually going to do it.
They picked up a kit. They picked up a kit. That's insane that it falls apart.
Are you kidding? 4-on-2? That's horrible from VP.
That's
That's horrible.
That's the only way back into the game. We were about to say I literally said the line.
Passion's
making a game out of this, a chance to make a game out of this, and suddenly that is incredible.
That's gross. A 4-on-2, like I said, all they were doing was trying to delay them at that point. Didn't have to face actually at all. The fact that Snaps was even facing there was questionable, but I was giving them the benefit of the doubt. He's actually stayed alive. It's not too bad. As soon as he went down, the round just fell apart completely, and that's potentially the game as well. They had a 4-on-2 on the A bomb site. They had to retake from the connector doors and balcony, right? Those are 2 of the hardest positions.
Tiny choke points.
That's the only places the T's going to be looking at, right? The bomb's down. They didn't have a kit at the time as well. All VP had to do was not face. Just have a crossfire on the bomb site. 1 player towards long A, 1 player middle.
I tried to build up this like, oh, we saw 1 game, but it's not so bad. It was just economy. I can't defend that one.
That was horrendous from VP. That was a real chance for them to, like I said, if they won that pistol, they could have got the 3-0 and slowly but surely edge them way back into this and just break the economy down to the CTs. But after that, I'm not so sure they deserve to actually have that opportunity. That's really disappointing.
That's absolutely disappointing. It puts NaVi within 3 of winning, and they'll have 2 rounds, although bomb plant, so could get guns out early still for Virtus.Pro, and we will see that. We definitely will, given the situation of the scoreline. But they're going to put themselves at 14 rounds here before a response.
They have the option to get the guns out in the second round if they wanted to. They could get Galils and drop them around. That is an option. We have seen it a couple of times this tournament, actually.
It might actually be viable considering.
Well, it's 13-3 right now, right? Yeah. So you either go all in and you don't allow NaVi to get to 14, or you wait till the 3rd round and then you've got a massive uphill struggle. It's a big balls maneuver, I have to say, but
And there, and you see on the screen, okay, we actually don't you see us.
Hi.
I'm sorry you see us. But the statistic that's in the game, the little memo at the top of the screen, Virtus.Pro beat G2 to get into this game. Virtus.Pro beat Cloud9, who are now out, as we saw this morning. But G2, Virtus.Pro beat them 16-1, smashed them. And then G2 looked a much better team against Cloud9, did the same to them. You have to think they want revenge. They want blood against Virtus.Pro. And they might get it. They're that close.
Well, it's not going to be the full investment into this one, as I speculated before. It's going to be more of a modest buy here. Some PT-50s and a flashbang. You can see NaVi preparing themselves as well. They're going to have 3 rifles and 2 SMGs in the form of a UMP and the MP9. 4 players to VP so far towards the B side of the map. We have got Neo with the Glock towards the top of the middle. Not really sure what he's hoping to achieve up there, but he's scouting for a little bit of intel at the start and will be joining his teammates now.
Bomb Flash does force seized away. He's got the MP9, and when he turns back, it's going to work out. He just sprays them all down. The window's so shut. Bomb drop flung forward. Pasha has to kill to get it. He's got one, but that's all he will find because Guardian is there with the M4.
Wow.
And it's 2 now for NaVi.
Very nice spray down there from C's, just holding the window. Pop Flash does come in from VP, but it's not enough to hold him off as he farms a lot of cash there. And we go into the first gun round, I guess. The Orbs actually come out for Guardian as well. They want to close this one out right here, right now. They don't want to mess around with the bonus rounds. As we go into number 18, it's going to be 5 AKs for VP. They have got a relatively decent amount of utility as well. 4 smokes, no Molotovs, and a few flashbangs. We'll see what they can do with this one. C's is keeping the UMP. The Guardian, he is the absolute star of the CT side on Cobble. He can make absolute phenomenal things happen. We'll be facing towards long 8, and of course he hits a shot. Takes down Bialy, spots the bomb as well. CT can start rotating, and that's a very unfavorable angle, traditionally, for the CTs. He's not done just yet, though. What a shot on the Snacks as well. Somehow he hits it. Snacks had that all day long, surely.
What in God's name is Guardian made of? That is so ridiculous. And there's the difference between mobility in AWP players. Specifically in this map, you've got 2 of the most contrasting styles. Pasha, who's a little bit more turret style, traditional. Edward's going to find Pasha. That's too easy on the entry. And then you've got Guardian, who's known to take shots like that on Catwalk, jump out the window on Mirage. Catwalk does too, I mean. And then this. Out, pick, Snacks has him dead. You have to think that's 9 times out of 10 any other situation, and he just nails the shot. That's so ridiculous.
So sick. This guy, we had a video playing before this game saying who's the best AWP in the world, and he proves it time and time again. This guy is absolutely electric. But 5-on-2 now. Taz and Neo remain. They have to try and do something with this. They can't back down. They have to see if anything's possible, and that's going to help. Neo finds the first shot, takes down Zeus. Is there any life there?
Taz seems to think so, but the big horse in the stables has to find 3 more. Guardian low on HP after the initial exchange, but again, AWP in his hands, you never rule him out. He's got Flamey. Down to 2 versus 1. Guardian misses the shot, gives away his position. There's a chance at this, but watch the secondary player. Edward is buying time. He's trying to approach and catch him off. He won't even need to. Guardian's there. And it's now map point for NaVi, nationwide arena point for NaVi as they want to advance immediately into the quarterfinals.
That was the 5-on-2. And it looked like Taz and Neo did everything they could to actually get into that one. There was potential there. When Taz had the shot into Guardian with 13 HP, I thought there was a real chance, but Guardian hits the 3rd kill. What a nuts round that was from him. As we go into potentially the last of this matchup. It's going to be 15-3 in favor of NaVi, and the money for VP is looking very bad indeed. 4 pistols, Taz on towards the Galil, and they'll be focusing heavily towards middle here, but Guardian ready once again. Doesn't land the shot this time, but could have a second bite of the cherry here.
Of course, he stays in the corner, too. Most ops run for the hills. At that point, he sits. Doesn't work out for him this time, but it just goes to show the confidence that he has. Flamey gets 1 in return, but the 2 kills from the Tech-9s now picking up guns to complement that Galil. Maybe enough to get this bomb into position, and it is now on the site. Question is, how strong will their post-plant positions be? Bialy's yet to cross, so he can stay on the ramp. They're going to save it. Yeah, this is early on.
Well, to be fair, Guardian, he did go for the face, and normally he would hit a shot like that, but the flash goes off at perfect time for them, and they managed to capitalize and stay alive for yet another round here. And they managed to pick up an AWP and keep the Galil as well. They haven't managed to salvage anything else just yet, but that was the Hail Mary play. Rush middle, hope for the best. 1 flashbang was the separation there between Guardian, taking them all down, or then finding the kill. So I think this is clever from NaVi. They probably could have had some justification, go for the retake, but it's just not required at this point. Keep the money fresh. Let's just finish this properly. Let's not get ourselves into a rut. Let's VP do find a lifeline here in round number 19. 15 plays 4 now, and Bialy with the AWP. You'd assume he'll chuck that over to Neo or Pasha. And 11 in a row required. stay alive in the last game of today.
Stranger things have happened. But between two juggernauts in the biggest tournament in the history of Global Offensive, this would be nearly impossible for Virtus.Pro. They've got a chance. These guns, these AKs, one held by Edward and M4s held, means that Guardian can go back to the AWP. It gives them a real chance to break Virtus.Pro again early on, but this is the last-ditch effort. Pasha's already set to cover off with Snacks at long, so Guardian not going to be as comfortable to try and take an early peek. Naturally, as he didn't quite have the spawn for it either, they're going to play a more passive approach and boost him up. Late smoke means he can actually shuffle into a better position. There's a gap in it. He finds Pasha. Takes advantage of everything you give him, this guy. Do not make an error with Guardian on the map.
Yeah, lovely stuff from him. This time he's towards the upper platform, and Snacks does pick up the AWP. He's trying to find the kill onto Guardian. Is this a good idea? I'm not so sure. And Bialik does try and find the kill on towards Seized.
And Snacks actually did spot him crossing over. He knows he's in there. Because even though there was flames in his way, he saw the shot, but he still pops out. Molotov thrown. Snacks didn't have the gun in his hands. Thankfully, Bialy and Neo are going to offset the difference and bring it back to their favor. But my God, Guardian.
Sick stuff from him, but still the man advantage lies with VP. 3 plays 2 now. They will be making their way toward the A bomb side as well. Flamey in the balcony has to find one here and deny them crossing to the bomb site. It's going to be too late, but he does get the first kill with Bialy and a double as well. 2-on-1. This could be it. Taz takes him down now. 1-on-1. Edward versus Taz.
All for the game as well. Taz, he's going to try and get toward this bomb site quickly and get this bomb down. Remember the hut. It's made of brick and mortar. It's going to defend him in doing so, but he's actually trying to bait out Edward. He heard that vent break. He knows he's inside the small hut, but a good angle held by Edward. He's crouched. He's got the angle covered off, and Taz did not have an easy shot. And that's going to do it. NaVi will take it 16-14.
Lovely play from Edward there. Great awareness. Like most players would obviously assume they're going to plant the bomb there, but he had a game plan there, and he stuck with it and finishes off in style as well. So VP did what they could in the second round after losing the pistol. Picked up that first gun, but unfortunately wasn't enough. NaVi just way too strong today. And you have to say, there was hope in the second half. It wasn't over there at 12-3, but that pistol round, the 4-on-2 situation, Matt, that was pretty devastating to watch. I felt a bit heartbroken after that.
I mean, there's no defending that one. That's a win every day. Doesn't matter who you're playing, doesn't matter what skill you are, you need to win those rounds. That's incredible. And again, it was the chance for them to try and get back into this game. We said it, momentum can be a thing. GT sides, NaVi, not even that strong at times on this map, so definitely was available, but that's heartbreaking. They do go against G2 again. They'll have confidence knowing they 16-1 them on day one,
yeah.
But I think it's a much different G2 now.
The thing is as well, if you think about what we said about Guardian going into this one, it was so testament to that game. So he went into the first half with bottom fragging, like pretty convincingly as well. Had some couple of interesting moments. As soon as he gets on the CT half, top fragging, of course, finishes like 20 frags, just completely owns them in the first gun round, goes to face long A, and just...
And the shot on Snacks in the stairwell, like not even that face, like not even getting that aggressive. It's just like the recovery from it too. He was alone. That's the type of thing, when you have a guy like Guardian, you often see the buddy system. We talk about having a rifle, playing it close to your op for that reason. He gets the pick, he falls back, rifle's there to cover it.
Yeah.
They just leave him on his own, and he still finds a way. Just, all right, no problem, guys. You guys go to B. I got A. Map much easier. Who better to talk to?
I don't know. Maybe Guardian?
Oh, I was hoping it was going to be Starix. I guess we'll put up with Guardian. He's standing by with Puckett.
That's right, guys. You will see the world's greatest AWPer in Nationwide Arena here come Friday. Guardian, congratulations on another quarterfinals appearance. How do you feel the team is playing right now after 2 games? You've only given up 13 rounds.
Well, it feels good inside the team as well. We are not arguing anymore. So, yeah, it feels good, and we feel like we have a strong team spirit at the moment. We like cheer for each other and stuff. So, yeah, it feels so good.
Now, coming into the quarterfinals, we've already seen some major upsets. Liquid will be representing America. Meanwhile, Fnatic still has to fight for a spot in the quarterfinals. Who do you hope to be facing off against when it comes to bracket play?
Well, we are ready to face anyone, any team. So we don't really care who are we gonna face. We know that we can beat any team in this tournament, and it will be all about mistakes. So I don't really mind who will we play.
Is this the strongest NaVi that you have played with?
I would say so.
Strongest NaVi, another big win here to close out the evening. Guardian, I'll let you go celebrate with the team, my friend. Desk, it's time to wrap this baby up.